Oh, a lot nicer.
Close the door.
Is it the right door?
I don't know. Looks like maybe you're gonna have to head to the liquor store.
Yeah.
Let's rewind a bit. With only 2 months left to have this car on the road, things are getting just a little bit stressful.
It doesn't line up. So
I bought the car November 26th, 2023. And when I bought the car, I thought I found a unicorn.
yeah, gas tank.
A decent price, decent condition, 1974 Volkswagen Beetle. But let me explain. These cars, as well as many other classics, are way overpriced currently. And when I see one go up for a decent price, that looked like I could just drive it for a little bit without any major repairs, I jumped at the opportunity. But the car was 16 hours away. We made the trip anyways and brought it home. It's already lowered, so it really wasn't the easiest to inspect without a hoist. When we got it home, we seen some obvious issues, common issues. But I thought I had more time. I thought the car was in better condition. As we tore it apart to fix the few issues that we did find, we found so much more. So here we are. Replaced the pan, left and right, the front firewall and the passenger side heater channel. Repaired multiple patches and have now moved on to the driver's side heater channel and some more body patches. Originally, when I bought this car and started repairing it, I promised myself that I would have it back together in time for a big show here in Ontario called German Air. All the VWs come out to this show. It's pretty huge. With only 2 months left to the show,
I'm almost there.
I have a lot of work to do, and I'm not even sure it's possible I can still make it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the garage, I guess. Dad's on his way over this morning to check on the patchwork I did on the rear. Now, as we all know, I'm fairly new to the bodywork world. I'm learning a lot when it comes to welding and blowing through all the welds or blowing through all the metal because it's so thin. It's just a learning curve. So anyways, I did my first patch in the engine bay the other day, and Dad's gonna come over this morning and check on my work and see kind of how I did. That's a lie though, it's not this morning anymore because we did the whole Easter egg hunt this morning. So it's now like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but we're gonna get down to it and I'm probably gonna be out here the rest of the day. So fixing the engine bay for me, and hopefully Dad can jump into the driver's side heater channel. I would really love to get that set up and in position so that I can get this pan tore down and painted and all these suspension parts sent away for powder, get this thing rolling and really get it moving. But it's kind of been on a pause for the heater channels. We need to keep the pan together, that way we can slide the pan back and forth to double check our alignment the entire time and make sure that we're not going to have any issues. One more thing Dad wanted to do today was test fit the doors. I'm not sure how I feel about this because this will really tell me if we have problems or not, but we should test fit the doors. So that's happening today, I guess. I got to go out and get them out of the sea can because we did recently get a sea can to store all the parts in. It's been a bit of a giant pile of parts, so I had to get a sea can to help us out. We're gonna dive into the patches, heater channel, just more body work, get this thing straightened up and smash it out. We need to get this done.
So as you guys seen, I did this patch the other day. It actually extends right beyond, like you can see the patch there. So I have to deal with positioning the bottom of it today and fixing all these holes. We need to cut this out and then clean around the A pillar all nice, around the B pillar all nice, inside here all nice. That's got to be patched as well. Of course, we've got our wheel well to fix. So yeah, we got a bunch of work to do on this side.
Bunch of work to do, and hoping we can at least start to tackle it today. I'm gonna get some stuff out and hopefully Dad shows up here soon. First things first, I think I'm gonna redo the newspaper on the windows because I probably wasn't the only one who wasn't impressed with the window covering I did. So I got some proper tape and more newspaper, and I'm gonna go around and make it nice and make sure it's all covered nicely inside and out, and then get to work removing the patch in the engine bay. As you see, I've put on my coat today because I'm sick of burning holes in all my sweaters.
How are you? Are you beautiful boy? Got something for you. Fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good to see you.
Let's be real. I'm new to this side of the automotive world, carburetors and body metal, but I'm honestly trying to learn. So the pointers from my dad really help. Also, noticing where I could have done better is key. I'm somebody who likes to make mistakes myself in order to learn from them. I don't get much out of watching others do it, even if it's right in front of me.
Was that piece of metal, that patch, to sit in between here and here? See where that's, now that I actually, that's part of the piece that was rotten.
Yeah, where you could have slid it in behind, you're saying?
Yeah, and I should have paid more attention to that when I was doing the top, because I welded in the top and then realized, I can't move it now unless I cut it. But that side's got kind of the same thing going on. All right, eardrops have not settled yet. I still feel like I'm in the water.
Dad went through all of his stuff at home to bring us some goodies.
Oh, you did.
With my shop being so small and not so full of tools, he's always bringing stuff over to help us out and get this job done.
Yeah, that was on my list. Oh, you gotta.
Got me a hat.
Now I can't make fun of you.
Got me a hat.
Now I can't make fun of you.
Got me a hat.
All right. Oh, and you got that guy. Beauty.
Welding plier.
Beautiful.
Gloves. Some extra gloves.
Cool. And the seat.
Have to have the seat.
Yeah, because I didn't have the right seat. I took a computer chair and took the top off, and it just wasn't up to Dad's standards.
Exactly.
What do you think about me working on the engine bay and you doing the heater channel? What's your thoughts there? Because I would love to start getting that heater channel mocked up so that this pan can start to get stripped, you know what I mean?
I want to cut this off.
And test the door first.
Test the door. Go get the door.
Go
get the door. Go get the door.
This is kind of, I didn't want to do this because if it doesn't fit, then I'm not going to be
Feeling too great about it. All right, and I didn't get beer yet, so
What the
I know. That was on my list for this morning and never happened. I was so confident in the little cage that we built because, let's face it, a Beetle is a small, light car. With the windows still intact and the cage welded directly to the A and B pillar, I figured nothing had a chance to move. But now I was starting to have my doubts. Something's not right. It's not going to be that kind of day, is it?
No, it'll be.
When it comes to the Beetle doors, they do have a lot of adjustment, but only in certain directions. Basically only for lining up the door as it opens and closes. When it comes to the door sitting in the body itself, that's based on how well your panels line up. With us removing the bottom structure of the rear quarter, we disconnected the structure between the A and B pillar.
How much adjustment do you
With realigning the A and B pillar, it's looking like the cage didn't really completely do its job. We should have added a bar much lower, right above the heater channel on the A and B pillars.
Way up. Not good. Not a bunch, eh?
Seriously, that's it? Can you pull out at the bottom? Pull out?
That's it.
Oh God! Really?
Nah, something's...
What'd you do? I don't know. Looks like maybe you're gonna have to head to the liquor store.
Yeah.
Neither of us are impressed with how the door fits, but it fits, so we will make it work. A few little bends to the hinges and possibly latch adjustments, and I will get this thing sitting perfect. But in my eyes right now, it fits. Sure, doesn't line up perfect, but it fits. So, time to move on for now.
You want a chocolate chip cookie?
No. That's telling me this got brought in, so which means we have to bend the door that way.
So, the story with the door. Doesn't fit that great. It fits, technically. It's got a bit of a gap down here. You can kind of see it there. And there's a lot of pressure on the hinges. We are thinking when the heater channel was welded on, it probably moved that A pillar just a little bit. And the B pillar,
At the bottom, it probably pulled it in.
which makes sense for why there's like a height difference this way. It fits on there, so we should be able to make it work. But yeah, there's a lot of pressure on that.
As we knock it off the stand.
Yeah, these trusty stands. So it does close, it does open and close, but a lot of pressure on the hinges, so we're gonna have to probably bend the hinges just a little bit to make it work.
Not really ideal, not really what we wanted to do, but I mean, it could have been worse. These doors could have not fit at all. Maybe the next one we weld in the A pillar with the door attached. No, you can't really do that because then you've got a lot of weight on the A pillar as you're trying to weld it in. So,
Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
Right here.
Right there.
Look, open the door again.
It's that rubber, right?
Open the door.
No?
Open the...
Yeah.
Do you see them at the top?
Do I see what?
Do you see these?
No, what are they?
They're hitting here.
What are they though?
They're washers.
Okay, but why?
That's what I'm wondering. Why? Why are washers there? There's none here, look. So they have fed the door that way.
Yeah, they've already shimmed it.
Yeah, so that shim is now hitting right here. It's being forced right here. So technically, if we were to smash this down, because the A pillar went this way, it should be this way.
with those washers welded on the bottom of the door, it's causing unnecessary pressure against the door. We may have corrected the A pillar a bit and left the B pillar in place, which would force the door out a touch. Either way, we can make it work, but for now, we can just remove the weather stripping so we can get a solid idea of how it wants to sit with no pressure
A
on
lot
it.
less pressure. Still a bit of a... Was that perfect before? We'll make it much better, but...
Couldn't have been perfect before.
You know what I mean?
What about here?
So I'm feeling like it couldn't have been perfect before.
It wasn't.
Where?
Here.
That's what I was saying. That's what I don't think was perfect before, that gap. You know what I mean? But everything else, without that weather stripping on...
Fits a lot nicer.
So that hinge definitely has to be bent.
Yeah, or can we remove the spacers they put on, like the shims they've already put in? Because if we remove those shims, it puts the pressure off the bottom.
It does, but it also drops the door this way. So they've made it so the door goes like this. By
Okay.
putting those washers.
Right.
So if we bend that hinge, it should, and take those washers out, it should typically do the same thing.
Okay, so we might have... I would say they were having an issue with door alignment before. They've shimmed it.
Oh, they certainly were.
And then now that we put the new heater channel in, it looks like it might have corrected it a little bit, but we still have to bend the hinge. Yeah, we didn't see those shims at the bottom of the door. That really helps. Okay, not bad. So we might be able to actually get some work done because Dad's so focused on this door. So now that we're both roughly at peace about this, right? Are we at peace about this? Sure, we're gonna need to do a little bit of work on them for sure, but the door fits, doesn't line up bad. We can make it work.
Sounds super positive about it.
We still need to finish welding in the
Yep.
firewall.
Yep.
All right, break out the welder, and I'm gonna start chipping away at this to get it closer.
Okay, so you're gonna weld the firewall in. I'm gonna start ripping apart that patch in the rear. And then when you're done welding the firewall, maybe I can move to that patch in the back and weld up all my spots in that. See, I told the camera you'd complain about that today.
Well, it's worth complaining about because somebody didn't do it.
I've done quite a bit, okay? But I didn't get as much done as I wanted, that's for sure. I've been noticing using this power cord, and Dad noticed it obviously first, but we've been noticing using this power cord on the welder. It's just a 110 welder. Using it is too much amperage for the line. Dad gave me this a while ago, but it didn't have the right end on it. So I bought the end, and before we start the welder up today, we're gonna test it out.
Time to remove the door and get back to work. Dad wanted to fix an area around the A-pillar and weld the patch I did on the rear before we started on the heater channel on the driver's side. So we got right to it.
So I did the beginning grinding here on the front inside the wheel well on all the spots that Dad has kind of welded in that ring. The edging, I guess you can say it is, but I kind of tidied that up. Time to do some more on it, but I also I need a couple more low spots filled, but no big deal. That's looking pretty awesome. And Dad's been back here playing around with the patch that I put in yesterday. I had a strip that was missing on this end. He's filled that in, and then he's plug welded the bottom of the patch to get it all seated nicely. Yeah, and then we've straightened it out a little bit, but other than that, yeah, just tidying up this patch, cleaned that one up, welded the firewall to the inner wheel well. Oh, fire?
Fire.
Oh, could have told me what was on fire. The sound deadener?
Sound deadener.
How's it welding?
Not great.
Yeah, so we need different metal.
Now I guess at this point I can explain another mistake I made. Me and Dad went to Princess Auto recently to pick up some goodies. We also purchased metal while we were there. Well, it turns out we only looked at the shelf and we didn't actually look at the sticker on the metal we bought, because it must have been in the wrong spot, and we ended up buying a chunk of 2x4 galvanized sheet metal. Now after I welded that patch in place in the rear, I knew something was wrong. So I went searching for the sticker, and of course it says galvanized. So instead of removing that patch, I've made it work quite nicely, but we all know you shouldn't be welding or breathing in anything to do with galvanized. I have purchased 22 gauge and 18 gauge sheet metal, not galvanized, for any patches moving forward.
Boom. So we got this seated a little bit nicer and filled a couple holes, but I can do a bit of that on my spare time. This, I already told you about that. And we're just going to directly move on to the driver's side heater channel, start cutting it out and free up that wiring harness, because the wiring harness goes through the heater channel. You look like that Looney Tunes character, right? Elmer Fudd with the hat on.
I got something for you.
For me? Well, let me have it.
I'll let you have it. Here it is.
Where's the rabbit?
But yeah, we got to get that wiring harness kind of freed up from that heater channel. Then we can chop that heater channel out and start, I guess, cutting it. Because we are running out of gas. I didn't know that, but we're running out of gas in the welder. So we kind of got to pick and choose right now. Yeah, go ahead.
The main wiring harness runs through the driver's side heater channel. With a quick slice of the grinder, Dad released it so we could hang it up out of the way while
Wiring
cutting and
harness
removing
free.
the heater channel itself.
You want to take this and zip tie it right to the top?
Well, I gotta
With the harness and everything out of the way, it's time to chop that driver's side heater channel out. Now we want to be gentle when we're doing this. We don't need the A and B pillars moving, and we don't need to remove more than necessary. If we do, it could change the height of the door opening itself. This is very delicate stuff. With the bulk of the heater channel now removed, we can carefully remove the rest of the front and rear pieces. But as I said, we need to be gentle. Not to move things too much or not to remove too much. Only remove pieces from the old heater channel itself. Alright, so Dad just left, and we didn't get half as much done as we wanted to, but we did happen to get that driver's side heater channel off and released. We did get that back patch a little bit seated up nicer, but we did notice we're having trouble with the welder because the gas is really low. Unfortunately, that just puts a little bit of a pause in my day. I need to get some more body metal, some thicker body metal, because I'm not really loving how that back patch feels. It's good, it's fine, don't get me wrong, but I would like a little bit thicker. I used 22 gauge back there, and I'm thinking maybe 20 gauge, 18 gauge. We'll play with that next week, but for now, Dad's left. we did the heater channel, we played with the patches, we cleaned a little bit of it up, did a little bit more grinding, you know, not the ideal day that we wanted, but these days have to happen. The car still needs to get done, and there's lots of little things to do along the way. So today, I guess, just helped us get a couple little things in order and situated so we can move forward. Right now, I need to actually build my daughter a picnic table because it's Easter. So as parents, you know, it's now 10:30 at night and I'm switching off the car. We're getting ready for Easter, so little picnic table time. Naturally, I went at this task the same way I do everything, without instructions, and aimed to knock it out of the park with little to no knowledge in the field that I'm actually operating in. But it came together pretty quick. I wouldn't suggest any adults sit on this, but it's gonna work out great for my little girl. Put them on backwards. These are supposed to be on the inside. At some point, I just dropped the instructions and said, be a man, don't read the instructions. But I flipped them around the wrong way, so. Now to jam this in the living room so she can wake up and see it covered in Easter gifts. Let's face it, I'm way behind on this car. I have a short window to get it back going in order to make it to this show. But my little girl's only 3 once. So I will gladly stop working early and put together a little picnic table and get the house set up so she's all shocked on Easter morning.